One of the things I found most interesting about you is when you told me about your father and dealing with him. And I'm just going to say that, and I'm going to let you tell the whole story because I haven't heard this story, but it's a very heartwarming story. And I would like you to tell my audience, who are primarily seniors, meaning people 50 and up. They're really 60 and up.
Topic topics.
They just don't
Yeah.
want to admit it. Okay. Go ahead and just tell me about your dad.
Okay. So my dad was an artist. And I hate saying was because he's still alive, but he's not an artist anymore. Um, my whole life, my parents were both artists together and then apart. Um, but my dad really taught me comedy early. Um, he was also a big movie fan, and he would point out things in movies and said, "Do you know how they did that?" And he taught me about, filming out of sequence and, learning. He taught me in the movie Blues Brothers. There's a bit where, am I allowed to swear? I'm allowed to swear, right?
Yeah, sure. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm
So
old
there,
enough to take
there,
a swear. Go ahead.
okay, good. Well, there's a line in the movie where they've just finished the gig at the country and western bar. We got both times, country and western, and the actual band shows up. The good old boys, they show up and find out that the Blues Brothers have taken their gig, and the lead guy says to the two of them, "You're gonna look pretty funny eating corn on the cob with no fucking teeth." And my dad said, "You know why that was funny?" And I think because he swore. I said, "No, because the word teeth, the key line, the key word was at the end." So, even he was never a comedian, but he understood the rhythm of it and he understood the language of it. And he had all kinds of comedy albums, and that's what we listened to growing up. I mean, I did not get into music until much later. And when I did, it was like basically comedy music. That's why I love Weird Al and Dr. Demento and all that. But
Hmm.
so he raised me basically to be a comedy fan, and it just seemed natural to me. To the extent that, I would mention comedians to friends of mine, they would have no idea what I was talking about. And that was always odd to me. What do you mean you don't know who George Carlin is? Because to me, that was like the Beatles. So, so fast forward many years to about 3 years ago. My brother had been working with my dad in the studio for about 20 years. And about 3 or 4 years ago, we started realizing that Josh, my brother, was doing a lot of heavy lifting, physically and mentally. He was taking care of all the finances. Dad was getting a little forgetful. And Josh was really propping him up in some ways. And then there came a point at which my brother couldn't do that anymore. So we moved my dad into assisted living. And, it was great. He had a little apartment with bedroom and he kind of could, walk around. You didn't have to worry about cooking. You didn't have to worry about bills. Josh handled everything. Then in the past, over a course of about 3 years, he declined. And the doctors suspected Lewy body dementia, which is not a thing that you can diagnose, unfortunately. At the moment, there is no test for it, there's no treatment for it. It's just one of the ways you can go bad. It's what happened to Robin Williams. Um, so so for 3 years, he's living in this assisted living, and it's just, well, now he occasionally uses a wheelchair. Well, now he always needs the wheelchair. And about 6 months ago, uh, we had a doctor, we had some tests, and it was determined that he was no longer thriving, and it was time to go on hospice. So that started about 6 months ago. And since then, uh, and all of this time, I'm living in Los Angeles, and my brother's back in Massachusetts with my dad. He'd been going almost every day, and it got to be too much for him. So we just had to up the care and take care of it. And my brother's still there probably every other day. Um, and lately it is, he has never gotten to where he doesn't know who we are, but he doesn't always know where he is or who is around him
Hmm.
because he is looking for people who are not there. One time I was visiting, sometimes he's perfectly happy. He'll be sitting there looking at the ceiling, watching a movie only he can see. And he's very happy. He's just not necessarily connected. So it's been like that for quite some time. And in the past few months, uh, he has been declining. So, we've started to make arrangements, all that kind of a thing. And now we're literally going day by day. I haven't canceled any shows, but it's really hard for me to book shows because I don't know what's happening. Like I could literally get a call this very second. I'm holding up my phone here, saying you need to get on a plane right now. And I will. I have everything set aside to do that. It's like I'm pregnant. It's like I'm ready to go to the hospital at any time, but it's the opposite. Um, so that's, it's sometimes it's kind of hard to do comedy when all you can think about is your dad
Absolutely.
failing in a hospital bed. So, but yeah, so at this point, but the thing is, he at every state of his life, always he wanted to know about my comedy shows. He wanted to know how things were going. Um, in fact, the last show he saw, something happened where we realized he shouldn't be out and about anymore. We were, I was at a bar and it had those high chairs and he almost fell off of one. Somebody caught him, thank God. But that was when we realized, oh, he's not moving well anymore. He's not, we had taken away the car keys years ago, years before that. Um, so yeah, it's kind of a hard place knowing things are going to change any second. Who knows? By the time this goes on the interwebs, we might have to
Soon.
dedicate this to him. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's really hard to plan it and really hard to think and write funny. You know,
How old is
Laurie
Mike now?
Kilmartin did a
How old is
he
he?
is 89. He's
Yeah. God
89.
bless him.
Yeah. Where we
And
would love for him to make him to 90 just because it's easier to say than 89. It's got one less
that's true.
syllable. So when we tell people he was 90, it's easier to say than he
Yeah.
was 89. It's just a lot of work. So we're hoping that he can make it to March.
Yeah. Care
Who knows?
caregiving is so
Oh,
difficult. Caregiving is so difficult
well,
for members of your family,
it's
and I
it
don't
is.
envy you that, but I've been through it.
Yeah.
And
Well, again,
it's a
it
tough
was
road. It's a
it's been
tough road.
mostly my brother. That's the thing. I'm the slacker because I'm out here in LA living it up.
Mhm.
And the past couple years, I've probably flown home about 8 times. Um, I'm going back in a couple of weeks, and then
Mhm.
after that, I'll be back a month after that. And at this point, it's not even just for him. My mom is 90. I was in charge of her 90th birthday party. I did all the food. It was fun, and she had a great time. She's still living at home
Yeah,
alone, and it's a challenge, which is one of the reasons she loves it when I come home because yes, I'm home to
absolutely.
visit dad, but that
Mhm.
can only handle, we can only, even my brother can only handle like an hour or so at a time. He's rough. The rest of the time, I'm taking care of moms, I'm helping her shop, and I'm cooking, all of that stuff. So, I go home and it is very much about my parents. And then while I'm here in LA, it's just, the guilt and the fear and the expectation that at any moment I have to just drop everything, which is fine, but it's also, it's kind of nerve-wracking. Every time I hear
It's
the phone
it's
ring,
very it's very hard on everyone,
yeah.
and
But my brother is the one doing most of the
your
work.
your
He
brother
was he
is
yeah.
carrying the weight, but your mind is carrying your weight. But
Yeah, it's fun.
m my advice would be to you to make a list of things you wanna ask your parents while they can still answer
Oh,
you.
it's too late for that. My mom can, and I have asked her
Yeah,
many things. I'm
yeah.
actually including some of her story in a solo show that I'm working on about
Mhm.
basically being
Wow.
raised as an activist by my mom, but my dad is not answering questions. I have recorded a few things that
Yeah.
he's talked about over the
Have you
years. I have a little
have you
video and a
played
little
have you
audio.
tried playing music for him that he would enjoy and showing him pictures of people? Has that helped at all, or he's
No,
beyond that at this point?
I mean, maybe a year or so ago, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to bring him photos because I travel a lot doing
Yes,
comedy, so I
yes.
get to see all kinds of great places, and I would take photos and I would run them on his TV, and he would love that. That was really fun. And occasionally, we would play some music, some Devo, which he loved, and it was good. But at this point, yeah, he doesn't really like the noise. He can't really focus. He used to live for TV. TV was really big for him. And he can't focus on it anymore. He can't follow a story at this point. So it's just a question of being there while he's asking for help. And, the thing about Lewy body is that it's intermittent. You have good days and bad days all the way up to the end. So, he is not, he's not in a real position. He can't really reason. He can kind of answer questions, and he can sometimes on good days, he can form a thought to ask a question. But, I will tell you this, every time I do see him, he asks how the show was. He just always assumes I just had a show. He has always been my biggest supporter, uh, until the point he just couldn't anymore. Um,
What's
so
your
yeah,
mom's
that's
name,
right. I
by the
used to
way? What's your mom's name?
my mom is Harriet.
Harriet. Okay.
She yeah, she is an absolutely amazing woman. She's an artist. Even today, she was a potter. She's been a painter. She does collages. She also, at one point, she got her licensed clinical social worker degree, and she was working for the National Network of Abortion Funds, helping desperate women find funds for emergencies.
Wonderful.
Help me. I'm 14. I'm in Arkansas, and my parents are Catholic. They'll kill me.
Right.
That kind of thing. Oh, every
Exactly.
every horror story. She heard every horror story, and again, part of the reason I'm still an activist on that subject.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so now she is. I think about 5 years ago, she said, "I think I'm retired." That's the thing about doing art is that when do you retire? I never intend to retire from
Right.
stand up.
It's it's
I
better to keep
will.
active as long as you can. It's better to
Yeah,
keep
that's
active as
my
long as you
plan.
can. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
dedicate
I have a plan. Yeah,
you do have a plan. We're gonna dedicate
I
this
have a plan.
to your dad and your mom, okay?
Oh, thank
Because
you.
I think that my thoughts are with you sincerely, and I hope that my listeners' thoughts are also with you, uh, because I know how difficult it is, because 'cause I've been there, and, I would give you a hug if you were fricking closer to me. When are you coming to Florida? I like
When
that
you
bit.
pay me, I mean, yeah, like anywhere else, I got my advanced open water scuba certification in Florida, in Fort
Did you?
Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Y'all have too many tires in your water there. You know about the tires in Fort Lauderdale?
No,
You
I don't
know?
know anything about it.
Oh god, sometime in the '70s, they decided it would be a good idea to make an artificial reef out of
Oh, with
tires.
tires,
The
okay.
notoriously stable rubber tires in
Right,
notoriously stable California waters. Obviously, a few storms later, those towers of tires all came down, and
right.
now you cannot go on a scuba dive in Fort Lauderdale without finding a few tires.
There you go.
And
Well, maybe they could be
yeah, and they're
used as
not
retreads,
gonna have
you know?
nope, they are useless. I think they sunk like, I don't know, a million, and they've gotten about 100,000 out of the water. It's a whole freaking thing. But that said, I would be happy to go to Florida and dive in your tire-filled water. If you got gigs that help me afford to go there, I'll be
There you go.
next in
There you
line.
go. I'm going to mention your name. I happen to be going to Off the Hook, I think it's called, uh, in Naples tonight. I get invited there all the time to listen, and I will mention your name to them. Okay, I promise.
Yes, and
And in
you know what
addition
they're
to
gonna
that,
say? They're gonna go, "Whoop."
who?
Yeah. My first photo when we had to do photos as comedians, my first photo was a picture, and it said under it, "Who? Amanda Cohen," because I knew that would usually be the reaction on seeing this face,
Yeah,
and
but
it's
we're
still
gonna
I know the reaction is usually gonna be, "Who?"
who? But the advantage now
But I
is
appreciate.
yeah, but the advantage now is that you can be on YouTube, and you are on YouTube. And you're going to send me the information, and I'm gonna put it in after our we finish here. Once I get it from you, I'm gonna put it in there where people can see your YouTube, and hopefully there'll be enough people seeing there to be as attracted to you as I have been to you. Now I'm
Aw,
blushing,
and you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this show and cut out the bits that I like and put those on my YouTube.
and I will give you permission to do that.
They're gonna ask, but okay.
You have my permission anyway. All right.
Okay,
So
good.
we're going to end the podcast now. I'm going to try to find you some gigs around me, and then we can get
I
together.
would love that.
All right. And I loved having
And
this interview with you.
bear in mind, I appreciate that. Bear in mind, I'm not making any plans right now. I literally
I
can't make
understand.
any big travel plans until my dad is gone. And I hate saying it that way, but it's true. I can't commit to anything knowing that I might suddenly, I don't want to
No,
be the whole, oh, I had to cancel a week of work because, I don't want to do that to clubs because I'm
no.
that nice.
Yes.
No, as soon as this freaking nightmare is over, then
Yeah.
yes, I will be doing more gigs. But in the
Wow.
meantime, I just kind of want to be available there. So yeah, although I did
Okay.
just book a gig in Chelmsford, Massachusetts on January 3rd. So
There you go. So
just
your
today.
first
So
your
that's a
first
good thing.
gig, your first
That's
gig for
once I'm already in
2026.
Massachusetts. I'm close enough that I'm not going to
Yeah,
worry
you
about
better. You know what? You should just call the places around Massachusetts and just hang out there for a while.
Actually, yeah, I'm already planning on being there the 28th, December 28th through January 7th.
There
And
you
it's just
go.
happened to be right in the middle of it. So that's
That's good.
convenient. And
All
of
right.
course, that will be the night I get called in to come back to see
Yeah.
dad. Who knows? Who knows?
All right, my friend.
Everyone I'm working with knows that this is the reality, And you
Yeah.
know what the best part is though?
What?
I don't have to deal with my own kids while I'm going through this. I don't know how anybody can raise children and deal with parents. I can't even fathom that. So if you did that to yourself, God bless. God bless. You're crazy, but good luck with that.
Well, just as you said that, I got a WhatsApp message from my daughter, and when I get a WhatsApp message from her, it's the sound of cha-ching. The little cha-ching. That's when I know it's my daughter
Yeah,
calling. But she's self-reliant at this point in time, but I still get the cha-ching. And with that, I'm going to thank you again.
you just
And go ahead.
thank you. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
having me. This is
It's
this
my
was
pleasure.
weird. And I
It's
live
my
for weird.
Well, now you know another weird person that has the same nose as you. Let's rub noses. Remember we used to do that when we were kids? Did you used to do that when you were kids? When you were a kid? Rub noses?
Yeah, they were called Eskimo kisses, which
Eskimo
is
kisses.
wrong
Exactly.
twice. Yeah.
Yes.
And nobody does Inuit kisses. Nobody just
No.
it's like they realized it was just wrong and they just dropped all of it.
It just dropped. All right.
I
I'm
think
gonna let
people
you go.
I think people still use the term Eskimo brothers though. Do people still say Eskimo brothers?
I don't know anything about Eskimo brothers. Is it a gay thing?
Oh, no, you
No, it's
you're
not.
gonna have to look it up.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
look it
have
up.
to look it up.
I'm gonna look it up, I
Yeah.
promise. As soon as I hang
Yeah,
on, I'm
you're
gonna write it
welcome.
down.
You're
Eskimo
welcome.
brothers. Wait a second, I gotta write this down.
Uh,
Eskimo brothers.
I do
Eskimo
not endorse the use
brothers.
of this term or any other reference to Eskimos. I'm just saying it is a known bit of slang that you should know.
Okay. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody else, but I'm gonna ask you to stay on for a moment or two until our podcast uploads to
I'm not going.
wherever it's going. And everyone else, I look forward to speaking to you next week. It may not be as funny as this show is, but it will be something. That's not a very good closing, is it? All right. Bye, everybody. Need to make your next event a success? The Comedy Machine provides elite comedians and professional magicians nationwide. We deliver top-tier talent that transforms any gathering, from corporate events to holiday parties, into a spectacular show. Stop searching and start laughing. Contact us now to book your unforgettable show. You can reach us at comedymachine@gmail.com. That's comedymachine@gmail.com. Or call us at 562-961-8495. That's 562-961-8495. The Comedy Machine Entertainment nationwide.